apparently there will be a vibranium war in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I don't know exactly where the source is, but this is coming from Namor News. I know Grace Randolph talked about this, so just take this into a grain of salt. But considering the events of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and by the way, there will be spoilers for that movie in this video, I think. So if you don't want to get spoiled for that movie, then there's your warning. But I am going to let you know there might be spoilers. But anyways, let's read the tweet saying, rumor, a vibranium war is coming with Talocan and Wakanda being at the center of it. Both Captain America New World Order and the Thunderbolts will be about obtaining vibranium. And of course, we know Thunderbolts. Now, to give you guys an example, Thunderbolts is, to best put it, they're Marvel's Suicide Squad. They're not really. Like, I was reading a couple of Thunderbolt comics not long ago, and I was like, I mean, yeah, you could say they overall feel like a Suicide Squad, but not really. The Suicide Squad and Thunderbolts feel a little different. Thunderbolts more feels like, I mean, they're bad guys, but not as bad as Suicide Squad. I don't know. You know what? Let's not talk about that. But if you watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever, again, we're going to go into spoilers. At the end of the movie, Talocan loses the war to Wakanda. And one thing that Namor tells to Atuma is he tells her that, hey, there's going to be a war and we're going to need Wakanda eventually. And of course, if you watched the movie, you knew the center of that conflict was the fact that they both have vibranium, but the world wants to take it from them. You could see that there were world nations trying to look for it underwater. Namor got pissed off, and of course, the Talocans came out and were like, nah, fuck no, this is our vibranium, and we didn't even tell people about it. And then, of course, Wakanda doesn't want to give it out to the world because, of course, it is dangerous. It's a dangerous thing that could lead to the destruction of the world if not handled with the proper precaution. And I like this. I like this idea, in Captain America New World Order and Thunderbolts, we see this conflict of trying to get vibranium. The world now knows that vibranium's out there. They know that Wakanda has this large amount of vibranium that's absolutely taken over. And of course, knowing real world circumstances, if there was a country with this kind of, equipment, the world will come for it. The governments around all the world would have nothing but discussions about, how they deserve, how they need it, and this and this and that. And I like this because I also think this is a nice little conflict to have in between Secret Wars, because there's a lot of rumors coming out right now that Secret Wars is going to be this big event. Of course, if you're familiar with the comics, you know that it's one of the biggest events in Marvel's history. But from what it sounds like, Feige really wants to have all these multiversal Marvel characters that have existed in the past, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, all this, and do this one big event similar to Avengers Endgame portal scene. Now, I wasn't able to make a video on that, so I will talk a little bit about that too here, but that's a major thing that right now Marvel's worried about. It's the multiversal saga. And I think it's nice that we don't just have multiverse in every movie because, let's build up to that. But in between, during that time, let's also have this other conflict. So I really like this. This makes sense. And while it's not really coming from the number one best sources in the world, it is coming from an angle where you could see this having watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever, where Talocan is like, bro, we're going to go into war eventually, and we might need Wakanda's help. Because Wakanda and Talocan are similar in the sense that they have all this vibranium, but they just can't give it up because, of course, they need it for their people, their country. And at the same time, they know that it's dangerous for the world to come for. Not only that, but Black Panther really set up Namor to be the anti-hero of the MCU. Now, while I prefer Black Adam as a film overall more than Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the one thing Black Panther did better than Black Adam was that Namor truly felt like an anti-hero. Like, this didn't feel like a traditional villain that wants to destroy the world. No, it felt like a character who was deeply treated like shit, and he hates the surface, and so he obviously knows that if he has to, he will need to go to war with the surface world. And I like that this movie really set up that conflict. So it is going to be cool to see what they do in the future. And I really like that. And you already see people right here. Of course, even another major thing that I forgot to bring up is that Val shows up in Wakanda Forever. I was surprised because I didn't expect her to really be in it. Like, I didn't really read any plot leaks or anything. And of course, she wasn't in the trailers. Don't know why the picture's not loading, but you can see it right there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh shit, like she's in, like this is the movie where she's in most. Of course, we know she's gonna be an essential character in Thunderbolts, so it does seem like they are going to that route. And of course, she nearly arrested Everett Ross because of leaking information to Wakanda. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And of course, I forgot to say this, but my thoughts on the whole Secret Wars leak and all that, that they're going to bring out all these characters from the rich history of the Marvel movies as a whole, not just the MCU, but the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, the X-Men movies with Hugh Jackman, and, all this and that, seeing all these previous characters. It is going to be cool to see how that concludes. But we're just going to have to wait and see and find out. Let us know in the comment section down below. What do you think about this? Are you interested in the Vibranium War? Did Black Panther Wakanda Forever just not excite you? Whatever it is, let us know in the comment section down below. And I'll see y'all next time. Wakanda Forever.